weddings are so expensive. $650 for a cake cutting fee.
You go into debt to get a car, to go to school, to get a house, and then marriage. And after learning how much debt couples go into on their wedding, we are also like,
wait a minute, financial conflict is the #1 cause of divorce? But then people are willingly spending that much money on one day, which then might lead to the demise of that marriage, which was the whole purpose of this. Can we solve that problem for people?
What if we actually sold tickets to the wedding?
We have an announcement.
We have an announcement.
Announcements. My baloney has a first name. It's always that was the thing that we sang at camp.
That's not how we sing it at camp.
Oh, really?
No. Announcements.
A terrible way to die. A terrible way to die. I remember that now. I skipped ahead a few verses.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who stole our cow? Moo.
I don't know that one.
We have no use for your bull now. Anyway, we have an announcement. Show them.
You guys want to see my ring?
It's beautiful. We're engaged.
She went to Jared's.
I did not. We're engaged.
No, we're engaged. We're excited.
It was so special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many years in the making.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, when you're planning I was so nervous to ask.
Why? Were you worried about my response?
No. And I think every guy who's proposed knows this. It's scary.
Why?
It's a huge moment. It's a moment that it's one of those, it's kind of like your first date. There's a lot of pressure on a first date. Also because it can become that story that you're always going to repeat. So, you know what I mean? You think through it and there's a lot that goes into it. And
funny part for me was I had just given up on anticipating the proposal. Not in a way, I thought it was going to happen over Christmas. So it was like New Year's Eve, didn't happen.
I could tell you were looking around the corner is it
constantly?
Is it now? I knew you were.
Yeah.
You were like, where's it coming? Where's it coming? Where's it coming?
I was like, okay, Christmas Eve, no. Christmas Day, no. We were still at your parents' for a while, no. Then we came home and there's some special little things that we did, but I'm totally looking around corners and expecting things. On New Year's Eve, we left the house to go get ski stuff for the kids. And I was like, he's taking me out of the house so that people can come in the house so that when we get home, there's going to be a surprise.
And then when we got home, I knew. I'm
you
were looking around. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so excited. This is going to be awesome. Yeah.
I actually we were were opening some presents with the kids late on New Year's Eve, and I'm looking upstairs across our our rail banner. What do you call that thing?
I noticed. Yeah.
And banister. There we go. I was saying railway banner.
Railway.
That thing up there, and I was totally expecting Kedrick or one of our videographer friends to be there.
To be up there.
And you were not. So
yeah.
I had just given it. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're not getting engaged. This month.
Which was really actually kind of more
such a fun. Totally. I love being surprised. However, we're about to share that Russell Brunson ruined my proposal. I will take blame, but also Russell Brunson is a part of it. Can that guy not keep a secret?
We love you, by the way. No, but
thanks for ruining my proposal.
No, it's funny because, okay, so here's the idea. I was like, this is Marley Jax. She's going to want lights and camera and someone to say action. There's going to be an audience and a show. And so I was like, whew, I got to plan this thing out. And so my thought though, is there's this beautiful outdoor mall kind of close to where we live called The Village. And they have this small little ice skating rink in the center during the winter. I was like, let's go ice skating. And I told a daughter, I was like, hey, I'm going to propose to Marley tonight. I can't be the only voice in the family saying, let's go ice skating. I was like, so could you suggest? So she was in on it the whole time. And she played her perfectly. She did it perfectly. Yeah. I was like, but you also can't look like you're crazy excited, but also we're going ice skating now, right? That way I'm not let's go, because we had people showing up waiting. I couldn't make them wait also. So I was like, let's go get ice skates on. We'll ice skate around. And then in the middle of the ice skating rink, because it's usually really busy, I'll take a knee and then pop the question, and then all these people come around the outside of the skating, because it's really tiny, ice skating rink, and that'll be the celebration and stuff. Mm-hmm. But we got there, and it was closed. And so on the fly, I'm texting all these people and acting like I have to go to the bathroom and all this stuff, and just wait in the sides, hide over by this place. I literally took a map of the mall, and I sent it. I drew a map of where everyone should hide, and I sent that out to everybody. Did I ever show that to you?
Yes.
is while we were going out to the ice skating rink and everyone was hiding on the other side of a building. Because Russell and Colette walked by with an inner circle jacket
Russell's
on.
wearing an inner circle jacket.
I was like, no, that's not a friend. No. I looked up. I was like,
I hadn't seen Friends for a long time. And
You
I was
were
like,
friend hungry.
I miss our friends. And then here at a distance, I see someone wearing an inner circle jacket. And in my mind, I thought it was our friend Eric Thane. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go say hi.
Randomly here too? Wow.
And I can't handle FOMO. So I'm like, if I don't catch up to them, I will forever wonder if that was them. I don't know why I do that. And so I was like, Steven's about to propose.
Literally.
And I am running away
and
from
I was like,
my
no,
proposal.
come back.
I'm running away from my proposal towards the people that are hiding.
You run around the side of the building where everyone's just standing there. And I was like, come over here for a second. I was like, girls, get on the ice. Come over here. Just meet with me. And it was closed. So the security guards were not happy with us, but I was like, just get on the ice. We're going to do this. That's where I got on a knee and that was it.
Well, so while I'm chasing, and then I see it's Russell, and I'm like, God, hey, what are you guys doing here?
Hey.
And Russell is so awkward. He's like, just hanging out. And I'm like, you're awkward, but you're usually not. Oh.
Then you ran
And then
back.
I knew what was happening, and I ran back to my proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I got on a knee and proposed right there. And it was so fun to have everyone. It's like the whole
Because I had no idea
ring.
how many people were there.
There's a lot of people that just came around the outside. And we got cool footage of it. And we should show it to everyone. That'd be kind of cool. But
we'll post that too.
Yeah. So we got engaged January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a busy bit. We've done a lot.
Since then, has kind of been like all green lights. It's felt like a lot of just meant to be situations happening that we'll recap a little bit and then share with you the very unconventional thing that we are doing for our wedding that has gotten some controversy.
I'm excited to read the comments of this video.
I mean, it's just so us to do something like that. So the day after we got engaged, we're living in the afterglow of it. We went on what do you call it, an engagement moon? Something kids
like
called
that.
it something funny.
Yeah, we went up to a little cabin and skied and...
I can't remember what it's called. Engagement moon or something. They came up with a funny name for it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Your ring was way too big. They told me that this... Yeah. No, anyway.
I am a size 4. It is a size 7, so I couldn't wear it for a while.
They said it was a 5, but the thing was just like... Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Come on, seriously, check out that hardware. Oh, Papa
Skating
Larson
for
delivered.
A mouse. Good job, babe. The next day after we got engaged, we were just, living in the afterglow and fantasizing, dreaming what was going to come next and our life together. And we had just also decided to merge our businesses together because we were kind of in a place where we're like, we're building the same thing under one roof.
Yeah, literally in different
what
rooms.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And got a lot of validation and things that just kind of fell into place once we did that. And it was that day, the day after our engagement, that I was like, babe, we should have a YouTube channel where we document building the capitalist pig movement of like building it from the ground floor, bringing people into the mission, like calling our shots so people can come with us and like grow their businesses too and get rich and give back and solve problems for profit. And then we also integrate with brands and showcase them in the YouTube channel and other brands or clients that we work with. And then the brands that will integrate to help them build their businesses. And, just dreaming this up, and it felt so on fire. I call a few friends that are connected with brands and producers and stuff like that. And later that day, we were on a call, like just, again, fell into place. I kind of have
literally from the cabin.
Yeah. We drove up and later we had a call with our executive producer, who also executive produced the show Botched and producer on Housewives of Beverly Hills, that he was like, I love this. This could be a show. Yeah. And let's film a Sizzle, a pilot. And 5 or so days later,
like that weekend, he flew
out to Boise on his own time, have a camera crew, and we filmed a whole Sizzle reel, which we will link in the description below for people to go check it out, because we also are wanting to integrate with brands, and we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for brand integrations. When you look at Hollywood right now, it's kind of imploding. Like, people are out of work, incredibly talented people are not working right now, projects are not getting funded and greenlit, and with what we can merge with production and entrepreneurship and online marketing and put that together, that we can not only like produce a show, we can produce it at half the budget and all the ROI because of the back end things that we can monetize from this show.
Which is one of the reasons he seems so excited about it as well. Is it's a very unconventional way, because it disrupted the entire cash flow model of Hollywood, which is what Netflix did initially when it came out. I got to go do some consulting down there, and I remember they're driving me through these Hollywood areas, and they're like, the reason why Netflix has Hollywood so much on their heels, and this is back like 2000, right? Whenever Netflix came out, early 2000s. They're like, yeah, we've been seeing the cash flow model change so much because they pay Netflix and, Hulu and now all these places, they'll literally pay the actor more up front and nothing on the long tail. Whereas most of the time, actors are paid the opposite. They don't get paid a ton up front, and they'll get paid more off the long tail performance of the video, of the movie. And so it's another opportunity that's kind of that big. Mm-hmm. And he's seeing it as that. So we are filming a TV show / docuseries that is about capitalist pig movement.
And entrepreneurs building things that are rare and giving them a different kind of platform to be able to monetize from.
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting. We'll put the link below. We'd love for you guys to check out the Sizzle Reel, and please reach out. There's a form on that page as well if you want your brand to be featured in the show as we start to film it.
Which has been so fun to see all the brands who we've already been on the phone with.
Incredible brands.
Like, wow, it's been such an interesting just blur of the last few months, how fast this thing has really just been blowing up. So that's just like one of the things that's been going on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we're also getting married.
Yes.
And we knew that it wasn't going to be a long engagement. We've been together, it'll be 5 years in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
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 Wow. That went from Owen Wilson to Jennifer Coolidge.
Wow.
You look like the 4th of July.
You look like the 4th of July.
Anyway.
Our girls say that a lot.
When it came time to plan a wedding, we were like, what should we do? Should we, should we elope? Should we just have our families? Should we do something really big?
Yeah.
And the funny thing that happened when we started to look at venues here in Boise, we went to this one venue that we always drive past and was like, oh, it's beautiful there. Let's check it out. And when we went there, we actually had I thought it was an unpleasant sales process. And the reason why was because when she was asking us questions, she'd be like, what dates do you want for your wedding? And I'm like, what dates do you have? And she was like, well, what do you want? Like, as if she was frustrated with me. And I'm like, tell me your availability and I can pick a date. Well, just like, tell me a date. I was like, okay, June. We don't have anything in June. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she did the same thing for food. What would you want on your menu? And I'm like, well, what do you have? Well, what do you want? Salmon. We don't serve salmon. Okay.
Tell us the options. She was terrible at the process.
Part of this was like, I don't think I would want to work with this venue just because this whole sales process, I don't want this to be the fulfillment process. But then anyway, when it comes time to get the quote for what it would take to have a wedding here, one of the things on it, line item, was $650 for a cake cutting fee.
$650. And I literally asked, can I cut it on my own? And she was like angry.
Just to cut the cake. And I've been educated since, this takes a lot of work. There's plates, there's dishes, there's, it's actually effort to cut that many slices. And I'm like, okay, but maybe like roll it into another pricing thing, because that just seems outrageous. And from there, I made a post about it on social media of like, oh my gosh, the fees, and like brides are getting, they said, oh my gosh, the money, imagine, no wonder weddings are so expensive. And the comment section just flooded with people being like, I had to pay $30 just for a charger plate. And I had to pay so many people just outraged of how expensive wedding costs. And then I made another post being like, I've always just thought that people should just sell tickets to their wedding. Ha ha, wouldn't that be crazy?
What if?
And then the comment section flooded again. That's amazing. You should totally do that. It's ripe for disruption. Totally disrupt the wedding industry. And then I made another post. Well, hypothetically, if we were to do that, how much would you pay for a ticket to our wedding? And people anywhere from like $100, $200, $500, $1,000. I was like, what? This is crazy.
It's nuts.
And we debated it for a while.
Yeah. And we went back and forth. I mean, it wasn't the first time we thought about it, just as a joke. I mean, over the last several years being together, we're like, wouldn't that be funny one day? Like, we charge tickets,
we do events all the time.
We do so many
experience.
Events. I mean, we're in a space right now. It's like, what if we actually sold tickets to the wedding? And after the $650 cake cutting fee, it was like, huh. And then after learning how much debt couples go into on their wedding, we were also like,
wait a minute, financial conflict is the number one cause of divorce? Like, but then people are willingly spending that much money on one day, which then might lead to the demise of that marriage, which was the whole purpose of this. Can we solve that problem for people? Hello, capitalist pig.
Yeah. And it was funny because it's like, you know, you go into debt to get a car, to go to school, to get a house, and then marriage. It's like we're laden in debt, and we're like, all right, if we're going to think entrepreneurial about this, while still preserving the sacred nature of marriage, and what if? And so we did, and we are. And it's been really fun.
It has been
fun may not be the word.
It's been controversial because some people love it. They're like, oh my gosh, where were you when I got married? Or my kids are getting married and I want them to be able to, this is amazing. And the wedding industry is totally ripe for disruption. And it just makes sense because you would spend way more money even on a gift anyway. So instead just flip it that you're buying a ticket. Like, it makes a lot of sense. But then there's also people who absolutely hate it and like, what, that's never been done before, and you're turning this into a circus, and you're taking away the sanctity of marriage.
It's a mockery, and it's like, and that's not really.
It's not the intention.
It's not the intention with it. You know, I remember when you and I were sitting down writing the first list of all the people that we want to invite to the wedding. The initial list was like, it's like 250 people, and we're like, all right, you know, we started kind of planning costs and stuff on that, and then a lot of other people who follow us wanted to come as well. And then we're like, yeah. And then we're like, yes. And they're like, yes. And we keep...
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, we're like, wait a second. And we decided that we would change this so that it's actually... we're just asking people to cover their meal. It's a break-even thing so that we can just have a big party together. And as soon as we've been talking about it that way, I mean, I feel like that's when people are like, oh, this isn't a money grab. This is just... help us cover the costs and let's just have a big party together. That's really what it's been.
And for future, because we bought weddingfunnels.com, paidforweddings.com, I want to teach this model to future brides and grooms. I want to call them like break-even brides. But heck yeah, if they make a profit from that, and if that's part of their story on their website, their wedding invitation funnel, where they go, hey, like instead of buying us a toaster, just contribute to your seat at the table, and any money left over from this, we're going to put towards a down payment on our house if you know us. Or maybe they go, we're going to put this towards starting a business. You know, we want to be able to, here's my dream. If that was someone that I know and love, I'd be like, of course, I want to support you in celebrating your love and helping you to find your home, or maybe just putting it towards a honeymoon, whatever. For us, we were like, well, we already have our home. We already have our honeymoon. Like, we had someone at an event that we were at this week that was like, the funny thing is, like, you guys don't need to make money to be able to afford a wedding. And that's not why people need to do this. It's an option, the same way that you could do an Airbnb or you could do a hotel. And this is just another option for people. But I hope they can put their profit towards something. For us, it's going to go towards breaking even on the party. It's going to go towards, we want to be able to help raise money to build a classroom with Village Impact again.
It's so funny, though. I mean, we got back super late last night from an event I was speaking at, and we were at dinner and with a bunch of people from the event. And there was that lady sitting across from us. We're like, yeah, we're selling tickets to our wedding. She's like, haha. And she goes, okay, yeah. And we're like, no, we're actually serious. Total shutdown. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. That's been the response, which has been 30% of people seem to love it. And it seems like the entrepreneurial community is like, why would you not? Why would you not sell some tickets to your wedding, which covers the cost of the person being there, you know? And then 30% just like dead set, absolute hate it, right? Which and they throw mud saying, you know, you're not preserving marriage. This is a mockery, you know. And then it seems like that middle group just doesn't understand it yet, and which is why it's been so fun to kind of talk about this and educate it, because it's totally a new concept. Mm-hmm. But it's funny. I had a really hard time with it actually at the beginning.
We totally debated it before doing it
we
for
went back
a
and
long
forth.
time.
Yeah, we really did for a long, long time for all the same reasons everybody brings up. And it wasn't until we were at a different event. There was a lady, this woman walked up to us and we were talking about this concept, and she was like, actually other societies and countries and cultures already do that. It's just not a Western idea. So it's funny because more and more, it's fun when we bring it up, people are like, that's crazy and it's new and disruptive. It's like, here it is, but it's actually something that's been done. Mm-hmm. And we're just being really loud about it because we have platforms.
Yeah. And it's new, it's crazy, it's weird. And we agree if we do get backlash, we're like, yeah, totally. It is so weird.
It is.
But the same way that getting into a car with a stranger who isn't licensed and asking them to take you to the airport was weird until it became Uber.
Yeah.
And staying in a stranger's home was weird until it became Airbnb. Or trading imaginary coins on the internet was weird until it was Bitcoin. And now people are friggin' billionaires because of it.
Yeah.
And it's something new, and it is going to totally feel crazy until it is proven. And the crazy people are always called crazy until they were then called a genius. And will that be us? I don't know. And I think that we have something really different and unique here. And what has already been really exciting to see is the brands that have been excited to get on board, that we're going to create some really unique activations with them to get them more viewership or more, product sales or whatever for them. And the vendors that we've been working with, that they're going to make more money than they would have made if I just straight up paid them because of how we're supporting their businesses.
And some of them already are.
Yeah. And future brides and grooms where, of course you can have a smaller wedding. Of course you could just elope or whatever, do something cheap, but this is just another option. And it brings weddings back to it takes a village. And I hope also solves the problem of you don't have to go in debt for one day. And maybe this could also help fund something for your future.
Yeah. Why don't you take people through because it's 3 days.
Yeah.
What's happening each day so they understand what's going on. Because I think the mentality has been, I have to pay for a ticket, and then there's a gift, and it's this little ceremony, and this is just a straight up money grab. Nope. And it's that's not what this is. And we detest that as well. And so this has been a carefully planned, very carefully. Yes, there's a funnel. But what are those 3 days?
Yeah, because I've gotten that feedback of, this is a money grab. A money grab is when you are asking for money for no exchange of value or experience. And so here's what the whole experience is. You can buy a ticket to just the wedding, which most people would. I mean, for me, if I go to a wedding, I've spent $100 or $200 on a gift. For us, our ticket is not even that. People have been like, why is your ticket so cheap? For us, we're not worried about making a ton of profit from this. We want to use this as a case study. So our ticket is $57 right now. Super easy.
Which people spend more on that on a dinner.
Way more.
When they're out in the evening and whatever.
Entertainment, whatever.
Yeah.
And some people are like, I would never buy a ticket to a wedding. I would never buy a ticket to a baseball game.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, then don't come.
You don't have to come.
It's all right.
Then we also have our rehearsal dinner, which we're also donating some of the money from the rehearsal dinner to Village Impact. And we want to be able to raise enough money to help them build a classroom.
And we have the day of the wedding itself.
Yep. And then there's also the day before the wedding is we call it Rare Relationship. So almost like a relationship retreat day. We're bringing in some of our favorite experts, best-selling authors, people who have really been instrumental in our life and our relationship together. Going to be on this stage.
Doing it right here.
And doing some presentations for this audience. And we're also doing a panel with our parents, which I think will be really fun.
Yeah, the parent panel I'm excited about. Yeah. It's the one I'm most nervous about. They get all the dirt.
Yeah, they got the stories, yeah. And then the day after the wedding, we're doing a biohacking brunch. So instead of a hangover and sad pancakes, we have biohacking experts that are going to lead through breath work and cold plunges. And we have some brain optimization experts where people will be able to go through the machines and have the therapies done to them. We have this Tony Robbins level $20,000 machine that he takes on tour with him, has in every one of his homes that everyone will get a session with. How cool is that?
Amazing.
So that's the experience. That's part of the experience people get when they come to this wedding, if they want to.
Yeah. So it's a program that goes with this, which has been really fun. And instead of going out and going into all this debt with it, the effort of it is just to break even. We break even on this thing. That's great. And to show a new model to people that, you actually can go, if you're just entrepreneurial about any problem, and that's really the mindset of a business owner in general and an entrepreneur is, hey, I have a money problem I'm trying to solve. How could I solve that? And that's really all this is. We totally get that. There's some people that hate it, but as much as we're saying that, there's a ton, and I'd say more people that love it.
Totally.
It's just the haters
Absolutely.
are louder. And there's already a lot of people coming.
For me personally, I found that the love has been louder. Because even when there are negative people in the comments, the people that love it respond to them being like, no, they're telling you not to get a gift, or people should be doing this already, or this is whatever. And it's been so fun. And I think that, so when we turn this around and teach this to people with weddingfunnels.com, paidforweddings.com, there's 3 ways I think people can monetize is through selling tickets, create an experience, become entrepreneurial, how amazing, is through brand deals and sponsorships. Like, even if you don't have a big audience, brands want to integrate with micro influencers, and people are already documenting their way down the aisle that they are creating this content, posting, documenting, planning their wedding. And if they can integrate with brands and reach their audience, like, brands are spending more money on influencers and real people in addition to ads, but it allows them to be narrative marketing instead of this interruption marketing with ads. And then the other way is through affiliates. Like, you can integrate with a brand that you love and recommend them, and the money you raise from that can go towards your wedding.
Yeah.
The other thing I haven't mentioned too is like trades. To do exchanges for people. Like, we're building a funnel for our photographer. I'm doing social media for the venue. And he told me he was getting calls on the first day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's funny because we'll bring up those things to people, and they often say things like, oh, well, you guys can do that because you have followings. It's like, well, literally every person on the planet has opportunities in front of them if they just think that way and stop being comparative. And that's all we're encouraging people to do is like, well, lift where you stand, right? Where is it the opportunities that you have in front of you? And it literally, I think the biggest reason that this makes people uncomfortable who are uncomfortable, it's two reasons. Number one, they're like, you're making a mockery of marriage. And it's like, no, we've actually created a pretty strong line. Some people wanted to create sponsorship for our vows. Like, that's weird. No. Like, or like, hey, could I buy a spot in your wedding party? No, that's weird, right? We need to create this safety cocoon where it's like, no, it is still about the marriage. It's about us, and it is about the importance of marriage and the relationship. But outside of that, let's have fun. Let's like do some experimental things and such. So that's the first place. The second place people have had a hard time with it is exactly what I was just saying, that they're like, well, you can go do these things because of who you are, but that's not the case either. It's the mentality is, how can I go solve a problem that is in front of me?
Get creative.
And get creative about it. And everybody can do that. That's a mentality. It has nothing to do with literally, I think, not to call some people out, but it's just true. It's the difference between a victim mentality and a creator mentality. Victim mentality says I'm powerless. Creator mentality says, how could I? Right. And that shift, that change right there is all it takes. And we're just doing that to the expense of the wedding because we're like, oh my gosh, we could go into like debt over this, right? We could pay for it, but it's like, how can we is the most beautiful beginning of any question on the planet. And that's all we did with this.
So we'd love to hear what you think. Is it crazy? Is it crazy awesome? Would you do it? What are the problems that you see with it? And if you're interested in checking out our wedding funnel, you can go to crashthepartywithstevenmarley.com. Isn't that the coolest domain?
It's the coolest domain. We'd love to have you guys. It'd be so fun to have you.
We'd love to have you. It's going to be a blast, and it's going to just be so special. And anytime that I see someone that buys their ticket, I get this jolt of just
it's
inspiration
so fun.
and butterflies, and it means the world to us to have you come celebrate our day with us.
Yeah.
And to also be part of something that is bigger than us. And you can also check out weddingfunnels.com.
Yeah, and there are people buying tickets. There's a lot of people already. So if you're like, I don't want to show up as one, there's a lot of people coming to this already, which we're super, super excited to have just a big party together. And we're trying to get on Good Morning America or the Today Show, and we just had that call yesterday about it. And I mean, it's unique, and we know that, and we accept that some people are not going to love it, and we're still going to do it because it's so us.
Yeah.
But all the weird emotions that have popped out, we absolutely have had to go through and work through ourselves too.
Yeah.
So
in the next episode, you're actually going to hear from Christy Code Red, one of our just family friends, best friend. And she was 1,000% angry and against it.
Like rage against.
And now loves it. So all the same feelings that we actually felt in exploring this idea, and then sometimes people's initial reactions, is something that we're all going to explore in this next episode. So stay tuned for that too.
Yeah. Links down below. We'd love to have you guys.